Alright, let's get rolling. Got work to do. Can't stuff around too much, which means I'll probably spend all night doing something irrelevant. First thing I'll do is get this iPhone job out of the way, because the person will want to come pick that up tomorrow morning or something like that. Tomorrow lunch, which is pretty much morning for me. So I can't turn this thing off, unfortunately. The screen is too damaged, so we're going to have to tear it apart while it's awake and alive. So that's a nasty bang they've got on there. At least if I can get these things out of the way, then I don't have to wake up in the morning and go, oh my god, I've got to quickly get this done before the customer turns up. Oh, this is a shonky job refurb, and they got liquid damage in it too. Yeah, I hate it when they stick these stickers on here. It's like they're so proud of the fact that they reassembled an iPhone 7 or something. I don't know. Such a nuisance. Such a useless nuisance. Ed, Jim, Alexi, Travis, Kenny, Admin, DJ, everyone else that I'm not mentioning. Getting out of control here. Getting to the point where I can't keep up. Okay, that's removed. Get some Phillips action in here. Was it a bit of paper towel fluff? I've already had enough incidents with paper fluff today. Don't need any more. Okay, oh, there's actually glass sitting in there. Alright, let's see if we're lucky enough that they actually put True Tone on this one. A lot of the time these do not have True Tone on them, but we'll try our luck. Yeah, this one's got it. That's a nice change. DJ Craze, won't be here long, got bumped at work, had a new job. Oh crikey, sorry to hear that. Mid-morning to evenings. What's your new job? Ooh, this one comes with foam padding on the connectors, that's good. You're in a drive-through at Dunkin' Donuts. What are you, a cop? What is True Tone? True Tone, as far as I know, is just parameter data that makes it so that you can get a consistent color image between machines, as opposed to, we're going to display blue as aqua, and yeah, it basically, as far as I can tell, it's a bit of a unique ID for the screen. Well, I don't know if people are aware of that they're even using True Tone, but I have had a couple of people who do know when True Tone's missing. Okay, that there's a lot of deodorant on this one. Fortunately, it's not male Lynx deodorant, which I find highly offensive. Okay, that's gone, that's out of here. Teresa, which phone did you crack the back of? all I'm doing is I'm just heating up the glass with the 250 air. It lets the glue get a bit softer around the home button flex. And then I can slip this straight under there, lift it up, and then it pops out like that, nice and easy. Oh, sorry, admin. A little bit what's problematic with assigning admin is that it's right next to hide this user. So sometimes when you try to add people as a mod, you end up actually banning them from the channel. So it's a little bit of a risk taker situation. It's like, sure, I can give you mod status, but you might also get completely removed from the channel and I'll never hear from you again, and chances are I won't even realize that you're gone. You'll spend eternity in the void. That said, there's not a lot of advantages of having a spanner on your name. There's more disadvantages than advantages. For one, you get blamed if things go wrong. People will look at you and go, well, you've got a spanner, why didn't you fix it? Hey, Jason, I almost called you Jim. Jason, nothing interesting, I'm sorry, tonight. This is just a standard run-of-the-mill iPhone 7 replacement bodge job with no real love and care. Hey, where did the... Oh man, the camera guide's missing. Actually, I know why it's missing too. It's missing because it was never there. When there's not many phone refurbers I've found that will actually put in the guides. I'm just going to find the guides here. I have a feeling I actually don't have... Okay, that's... Right, I've got the sensor guide. Let's see, A plus camera... Aha, here we go. If I can... Now, once we've got this done, we'll move on to some more interesting things. We've got to get the... You got to get your vegetables out of the way first. The stuff that is actually good for you, brings in money, but it's not that entertaining. Tweezers, raw. What's with the fragile sticker? Yeah, I really don't know, to be honest. It makes me wonder what idiot did something to induce them to actually put that sticker on there. Because you know, most of the time, stickers, warning stickers, are only placed on goods or created because someone did something stupid that everyone else thinks, why didn't you realize what you were doing was stupid? And yeah, they create a big fuss, and then you go, fine, here's your payout or whatever, but I'm making a sticker that explicitly will remind you that you're a moron for here on forevermore. Jason, shouldn't you be working on iPhone 12s or something? Maybe an iPhone 13? Surely someone's drowned one by now. I'm not even going to bother actually. Yeah, I don't like stickers being stuck on these screens because they can create they can create a bit of a pressure shadow sometimes if the battery is just that little bit too fat. I used to see it all the time on things like iPhone 4, 4S's. And you get this slight bright edge appearing through your screen. Oh great, now I've got a smidge of trash on there. You're working on an 8 Plus home button. What did you do to it? How did you break it? I'm assuming you broke it. Did you do what I did? Slipped with a screwdriver and stabbed the damn thing. Like for me, a couple of weeks ago, I was fixing up, just moving an iPhone home button like this, and my tweezers went into this little window here and shorted out a cap, broke a cap. It wasn't on, but the physical impact caused the capacitor to crack, which subsequently shorted the whole button out, which of course means that it didn't work. And I was left with the situation that I may have to buy the person a whole new phone because of the fact that, well, I ruined their phone. But in the end I actually got in and repaired it, so happy endings. It's probably not a term I should use, I suspect. I have a feeling that that's actually a term used by inappropriate areas. So, haven't broken anything ever. I can't speak. Broken by a repair shop. Clean that's it. Reading and speaking concurrently seems to be not on my available skill sets today. That's not good. That's not good at all. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just cleaning up the junky what do you call it? Adhesive around the screen. It's not even good stuff. It's just, well, it's not a smearing of T7000, but it's not far off. No, it's way too early for bed. I have been doing moderately okay with sleep lately. I do have a new bed coming on Thursday, I hope. So it'll be interesting to see how I feel a day or two after that. The first night or two of getting a new bed usually isn't much good, because you feel all disorientated, nothing, it just doesn't seem right. Short on the brain, definitely. I had a fun one tonight, or today. There was a 820, I think it was a 92 something. Anyway, it was an A1707 main board, logic board. And it came in supposedly with CPU short, but fortunately it ended up just being a banjo banjo fault. And so once I fixed the banjo fault, I ultrasonicked it, and then I went through the testing procedure only to find that the webcam wasn't working anymore. And I was like, damn it, what have I done this time? And so I tried a different screen, it still doesn't work, so I thought, alright, at least I know it's a mainboard issue. And it ended up, it was a piece of fluff from the ultrasonic that just happened to sit on the screen connector right over the 4 pins that are used for transferring or controlling the camera. So that was a bit of a fun one. I probably spent a little bit too much time running around measuring voltages and values and all sorts of things, of which nothing came up as wrong. And I was thinking I was going to have to consider replacing, I think it's U3900, which is a whopping great big chip. It's almost CPU type size in terms of pins. It's old CPU, but it's a decent sized chip on the Macbooks. It controls all the camera and Thunderbolt and stuff like that. And I've done a couple before, but never have I done one that's underfilled, so it was going to be a journey of great discovery. Now on the property front, I'm not trying to be a commercial real estate Lewis Rossman type person, but we are looking at a couple of options for property. Because now that we've got this place locked in, amazingly we're actually saving money compared to before. And I've already saved up quite a bit, or moderate amount. Now I could put it against the home loan itself that I currently have. However, as it is, I can only put in $20,000 a year against this loan directly. So instead of doing that, I'm thinking, well, you know, I'll try and acquire another property. And we found something that hopefully we can pick up for, oh man, that's the wrong screwdriver. Yeah, a decent, good price. It's not very pretty to look at. We're not buying it for the house, we're just buying it for the land. And hopefully I can use it for storage and things like that. And then in 20 years time we can offload it, because we might not be getting the pension at that point. Hey Max. Is this James sleeping in his car? James, what? Hopefully you don't have to do that for too long. So who knows, maybe by Christmas I may be a real estate mogul with 2 properties under my belt. To be fair, the collective value of this property and the new one we're looking at would still be quite a bit less than most people's single house in a city. So it's not like I'm doing any massive overextension. It's just a case of trying to pick up an opportunity that's come about. Yeah, hey Jason, I don't think I'll be flipping houses. I'm too freaking lazy to put the effort into flipping houses. No, we don't want to flip this one, we just want this one to help us out, take the pressure off this piece of land we're on now. It seems a bit crazy that we have this house that's well, about 200 square meters in this particular house that I'm in now. You would think that with that sort of squareage that we wouldn't need anything more, and we're on half an acre, which is about 2,000 square meters. But we actually do, we really do, because you know, I'm running a business and we're looking after all the, well, that is not right. Something's very wrong there. iPhones are not meant to look like that. All I've got is a grey background there. Okay, is that a dead screen or what? Man, of all the flippin' times. You tell yourself you should test it before you put it together, but you never do. Or you rarely do. And now that I haven't, I've got this weird dead grey screen look. That is very strange. It's probably because I pulled that sticker off. I bet you it was. Yeah, Jason, I won't even, my debt will not even be half of that, even after I acquire the new place. So, big difference. Yeah, Jason, if it turns into that, I'm blaming you for sure. But seriously, what's going on there? It's probably going to be maybe a dud connector on the screen. The number of times I've had to fix up these replacement screens because I've got junky connectors on them or something like that. And it doesn't look too bad. I'll go get another screen just to test before I consider it to be dead. Yeah, it will be Jason's fault that this wasn't working. Alright, this is a slightly different screen. This is a refurb one. Maybe I just didn't click it down well enough. Let's have a look. Okay, that's working. So we know the main board's good. In that case, Jason's crying now because he was hoping for some sort of excitement. Jason, you should be worried about your own queue, not mine. Yeah, Sonia, that's basically what we're going for. And I mean, as I've indicated in the past, I feel like myself and the leader were a bit far behind where we would want to be in terms of life, in terms of what we've done investment-wise, savings-wise. So we're trying to catch up pretty quickly, and this is one of our better chances of being able to do that. Yeah, this screen's just botched. It's very strange. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, see how it's got that just grey glow? It's very weird. The worst thing is I've already reassembled everything and I've moved the true tone. Ah, man. Okay, let's have a look at the connectors and see if anything's damaged there. No, these aren't mobile HQ. I get mine from EasyFix. I don't normally get failures like this, but I guess this is the first time for everything, eh? Well, this wouldn't be the first time. That inner section there looks a bit chewed, but I don't think that's fault because that's all just ground. I can't really lay blame on any of this. Hey Tony W. I gotta admit, the way this is folded back here is pretty damn shonky, so I'm thinking when they reassembled it, they did a poor job. I was going to say what kind of poor job, but I'd say they've done a poor job here. So I guess I'm going to have to redo the bloomin' thing. Bloody hell. What a posterior pain. Admin media, having problems with your Z Pro. Or is it not, your sensor not picking up? Son of a gun. I don't know why this tool does that occasionally. Alright, let's try copy it again. Hey Greg. Yeah, if they didn't want the fragile sticker taken off, they should have said do not remove this fragile sticker. You watch, they're going to say this is why we put the fragile sticker on, because people remove it and it damages it. It's like, if you didn't have the sticker on there, it wouldn't have happened in the first place. And as it is, the damage they're talking about is in the corners here. Yeah, you can just sort of like crack and chip that area. Right, yeah, what a pain. What a mighty pain. And best of all, we have to transfer the shield as well. Good, James, take care. Best of luck. Jason, why is your queue so full of jobs? Are they all nasty, horrible jobs though? You know, things that you basically can't find a solution for? Because that's sort of what you sent me. Hey Keith. Yes, I am feeling a lot better now. I don't have the agonizing, crippling pain from last week. It was definitely not fun. And it was genuinely debilitating, crippling. It was not like, ooh, I got a slight ouchie. It was like, I can't damn well move. If I move, I fear I will explode like Mr. Monty Python guy who ate one wee wafer too much. Was his name Mr. Crioste or something? Oh, I can't remember. Don't expect him to remember stuff. Sheer volume of work, yeah, okay. Fair enough. Lucky bastard. I did get an interesting one the other week. There's, from the local, we have the, you know, the show Survivor. Well, we have that happening here in Charters Towers at the moment. Like the whole film crew and production groups here. It's like a little mini city just out of town. Anyway, I had to fix up a MacBook for them. So that was nice. No fame, of course, but it was still nice to pick up something from out of town like that. Creosote, yeah. Yeah, we all know the guy. Better get a bucket. To be fair, Jason, yeah, I don't have a massive number of jobs come in, and I'm happy for that in many ways, because a lot of the time I'm busy with software development, and there is no way I could do software development if I constantly had a full queue. You know, I'd be exhausted at the end of the day and would have no energy left to work on the software. I'd be happy probably with 2 machines a day. That would sustain me for the short term. 2 machines and 2 iPhones, that's probably a good balance to have. Yeah, Jim, apparently it was a local that was telling them about me. They dropped some fibs, to be honest. You know, they said he's the best in the world, and it's like, yeah, that's just not true, not even remotely true. But it is actually somewhat true in the sense that this town, Charters Towers, is historically known as the world from the gold mining days, because all the gold exchange, the gold exchange was here in Charters Towers for the world at one point. And so hence it was known as the world. So often local businesses will say, you know, the best coffee shop in the world, but it's a little bit of a fib. So me proclaiming that I am the best MacBook and iPhone person in the world is can be correct on a technicality, but in general, no. Okay, this one here we're going to have to mark as a dud and send back. Grey screen. ASABK, that's the wrong box for it. This is the box for it. Put that in the ever-growing, never-emptying RMA box. No, it wasn't Gareth in this particular case, but no, I don't think so. No, it was a local they were talking to, like as in a local Charters Towers person. Because obviously they've probably part of their agreements is, oh, you have got to be crapping me. I've just about had it with the shitty quality. Yeah, I buy the most expensive variants that I can, and that still does not avoid these scenarios where Mr. Daniels has a great big stuff up and blames someone else. Yeehaw! Okay, this one's my fault. Not my fault that I gotta find someone to blame. The 0.5% American in me says I must blame somebody but myself. Right. If you're wondering what I was going off about, the problem was that the home button flex had got tucked under the screen plate. This is turning out to be way too long for this job. Yep, even the gecko agrees. Okay. Should have been done 15 minutes ago. At least it's not like an iPhone 4 or 4S where it legitimately is truly agonizing when you get it all back together and find out that you did something dumb like, well, I don't know, you know, the earpiece mesh. Hey Phil Pritchard. Is it really the New Yorker syndrome? Isn't it just more the United States syndrome? I can't ask Jason because he'll just blame it on someone else. yeah, if he admits that there is the American syndrome, he'll say it's probably the British that were truly at fault because of what they did in Boston. Lewis finally decided which path to take at his crossroads issue. What crossroads issue did he have? The last video I saw, he was lamenting over... Well, he was sort of beating himself up for the choices that he made with regards to taking on the new shop. Personally, I think he's been a bit harsh on himself. I think that the move to the new... It's... how can I put it? It's easy to think you've made the wrong choice when you don't get to see the outcome of the other choice. So, we don't know what might have happened if he stayed in the previous store. The things he was worried about may very well have started to happen. He may very well have started to lose jobs, or the quality drop. The inundation thing, you can sort of put a break, you can put your foot down on that just by rejecting jobs, even if you don't really want to see the loss of that money. But yeah, and I think things like workplace health and safety might have started popping up. The building could have gone down on fire, flooded. So yeah, I think he's been needlessly hard on himself, only because he's creating an ideal outcome for the choice he didn't take. I mean, is he up for a fair investment at the moment? Sure, he's got to pay back that 90,000 rent or something, and I've just done this wrong sequence. Yeah, things aren't as great as they could be, I agree to that. But on the other hand, he has created a business there that he pretty much could sell if he wanted, although he probably won't. But he can pretty much walk away from, as far as I can tell, and other people can run it for him while he goes off and does his own thing. Where I don't think that would have been quite as plausible, and more to the point, I don't think that would have been as long-term feasible in the old store. I think the old store, if he walked out of it to go and do his own things, but still as the director or whatever, I think the old store would have probably brought a lot more drama within 12 months. Yeah, I mean, there's no way you would have known Corona's around the corner. You just can't. You can't do that. You've got to be careful of beating yourself down like that for these sort of unknowns, because it will inhibit you in the future from making other choices that seem right at the time. And instead you start becoming paranoid and you go, well, if this is the right choice by what I think now, then I must take the other one because something's going to happen around the corner. Yeah, I know it sounds superstitious and paranoid, but you can end up like that way very easily. Needless to say, there were so many people writing comments back on that video, there wasn't much point me writing anything because it would just get lost amongst the noise. But if he was around here, I'd just say, you made the best choice realistically. It didn't necessarily have the outcome you were hoping for in the time frame you were hoping for, but it was still most likely the best choice you could have made. Yeah, fortune favours the bold. Looking for a cheaper to rent building. Well, I mean, that's possible. You can go there. I don't know what his legal or contractual obligations are in terms of having to pay for the other place. Yay! Get an Apple logo. Thank goodness for that. Yeah, I remember him saying he wanted to retire by 2023. It's still feasible. But the biggest trouble with retiring is finding something to do after you retire. If you don't find something to do after you retire, you'll die. You took out a 10-year lease. You may be able to find a way out of that on the basis of the COVID situation. I don't know if it was 10 years though. can he, what was I say, can he sublease or release? Release. Yeah, right to repair is his life now. There. Alright, this phone's taking way too long to boot. I hate that. So I don't know if I've got a damaged something or whether it's just been a narc. Yeah, Jason, the thought of retiring, it's like, hell no. I will retire when I die, basically. Yeah. Sublet. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah. Yeah, this is still beating. This phone is ticking me off something fierce. It's behaving as if something's not connected. It's very annoying. Where the hell's Jason when I need him? I mean, we've all seen what happens to people when they retire, particularly men for that. Like, I've got a couple of neighbours and every day they're just desperate to try and find something to do, so they go out with the leaf blower or something like that and oh, this is crap. This is absolute crap. It could be audio IC failure, I don't know. It has been dropped. I mean, if you look at the original screen, yeah, look at that. That's something severe. Funny, the home button's responding. Oh. Yeah, audio IC, probably. Yeah, speaker flex, possibly. Just doesn't normally take this long to boot. This is actually a very long wait. I'm gonna put it down to the side. If it comes up, and then I can see if it's got audio IC fault. Although I just realised I don't have their pin code. No. Try a hard restart. Yeah. I'll try to at least give things a chance to come up okay. So I'll give it a chance to come up. If it hasn't by the time I've sorted out this next bit of a job, then we'll have to pull it apart and do something again. What a pain in my backside. I hate it when your queue just ends up with this sort of crap. Alright. Slight pain, nothing bad. Ah, it has booted now. SOS only. Let's hope and pray that this has not got a SIM in it. Okay, thank goodness no SIM in it, so that's good. Screen seems fine, so could well be audio IC. I'll have to check back on my log because I know there were a couple of customers that were talking to me. Why did someone pay me $179? Sorry, I've just got to work out what's going on here. I've just seen money pop into an account and it looks like it's an what do you call it? It looks like it's a Flexboard View license purchase, but it's the wrong amount. Oh, I understand. No, it's all good. I might just message that person and ask them what their PIN code is. It would be very nice if that was a tip, because 179 is not cheap. It was Australian dollars, that's the other problem, yeah. Rather than US dollars. Okay, I'm just going to put this one back together. This is the webcam one. This is the one that came in as a dead CPU and thankfully was not a dead CPU. Now I think that the person thought it was a dead CPU because they measured the rail, yeah, they did the right thing, they measured the CPU rails, but it was, I think it's, oh, that's what I want to do, yeah. I just realized I need to take this opportunity to actually capture values for this board. Okay, this is one of those scenarios where I've got to do my service to the community and do some board data capture, mostly to help myself more than anything else, because when I was starting to work on this I was like, well, I don't know what the expected CPU values are for this one. Yeah, 1707. Yeah, so I didn't know what the expected values were meant to be. So I was like messing around in the dark like Bruce Springsteen. Okay. I just better check that I've got synchronized. What? No results found? 128. Well, I guess? No. Guess I had better go in and fix this up. I just realised I don't even need to do that. Hey, Praham. I really probably should actually take this to another window. Sorry, folks. Insert into boards. Path, name, category, brand, machine, comment. Nah, no one needs a comment. Values. Yeah, I can't even remember my B path. Whoops. I need to get around and making it so that the interface is actually easier for me. Not for anyone else, but for me. Laptops, Apple, 82000. What is this? 00 what? 92 what? 928. No. Yep, 1707. Alright. Now let's see if we can have any success. 928 board. Crash and burn. Ah, there's a bug in my software. Search. Hallelujah. Hey. Okay, there's no data to download, but at least it's synchronized now. Okay. So at this point, I can start capturing data. And the initial thing is going to be this. A misunderstood bug, perhaps, shall we say. I just realised. Somebody forgot to plug in the switch and now he can't press the enter button. Are you kidding me? Come on. I was building a bunch more open board data capture boards last night, and guess what? I put them somewhere. I need one of them. I need one so I can capture the data. Well, I mean, I could manually punch it in, but where's the fun in that? Seriously, there we go. Anything go wrong? Yes, quite right you are. Okay. whole lot of drama just for one. Okay, 2.58. Why are you not accepting this? What have I broken now? Oh dear Lord. Right, well, that pretty much... Yeah. Clearly I've modified something. Anyway, we know, what was the value? 2.6, we'll call it. What a pain in the backside. Clearly I've still got bugs to work out. .6, they should all be the same anyway. No, the Sweet Mercy thing was just one of those bizarro events from way back in the past, funnily enough, which is kind of why it caught me off guard when everyone starts talking about it, and I'm like, what's going on? I don't remember this. 1.52. If you're wondering why I'm putting in both values the same on the inductor, it's because effectively, yeah, the inductor is going to add some resistance, but not enough to warrant double measuring, especially when you consider the variations just from temperature, probe dirtiness, things like that. Now the reason why I'm doing resistance is because obviously in diode mode, if you go diode mode, this thing just looks like a dead short, which is actually what catches out a lot of people when they're first doing board repairs, and not just on MacBooks, but all main boards. 769. I think the problem is not so much with the keypad thing, but rather I changed the format that I was making the multimeter generate data with, and I think that's what's upset it. Just taking the opportunity to pick out most of these inductors around here, like this one's different, 2624. Realistically, anything more than 2 significant digits is almost useless with these repairs. The board variations, the multimeter variations, the probe variations, all those variations just destroy anything. If you're trying to do anything better than 5% tolerance with your measurements, you're just wasting your time. it just becomes nonsensical data that people focus on, but really it is literally nonsensical data. Hey, shady hacker. Miles will be working on something for the doorbell pretty much about now, because what I'm going to do is I do want to get more values off this, but I'm going to have to fix up Flexboard View and this multimeter software. I've got the key ones that I want off, but the rest of them I'm going to have to fix up the software and then do this later. So we will now move to the segment that is most likely going to cause substantial rage amongst many people. Anybody who does any sort of quality damn it. Anyone who does any sort of quality measurement equipment or has a sense of being pedantic, they are going to hate what is about to start happening. Which just encourages me to do it even more. Alright. Let's go overhead. Okay, so about 10 years ago I made this device here, which is a programmable LED strobe. Now the reason it was made was because with model aircraft, if you want to do scale aircraft, you want various strobing lights on the aircraft to make it look authentic. And you have different modes like landing mode or whatever, and the different strobes have different strobe rates and things like that. So I created this Mega48 based board, and you could program it through a serial interface, and you had 4 channels of output, 4 LED outputs, and I think I could switch around about 1 amp per channel, and it was great. It was actually a pretty popular seller of one of the products. It sold well. I still have some circuit boards, and like I said, they're about 10 years old now, and I can start to see that the solder, the hot air, what the hell, fly? Bugger off. Yeah, it's starting to tarnish a bit. But this hopefully will be the basis of my couple channel logic probe. Now I have to find all the parts. Now people are going to really gnash their teeth because, one, it's going to be in serial interface. I mean, oh, transferring, you're only going to get, what, 50 kilohertz if you're lucky, maybe 100. If the serial interface I plug into is fast enough, I can actually do about 2 megabit per second. But I'll be happy if I can get 100 or 250 kbit per second out of this. There's no protection on the inputs. You're stuck with the logic levels only for whatever you're running the chip at. So if it's 5 volts, they're your logic levels. 3.3, they're logic levels. It's a colossal hack job, but basically what I'm hoping I can do is all of these pins are on, in this particular case it's on port C or pin C of the AVR. And all I'm going to do is just load the value of pin C inside the AVR, I'll show you the code, into the UART register of the data that needs to be sent out. And so every time that register empties, I just load pin C back in there. So there's no accurate timing, there's nothing. It's a real sloppy job. But since I don't yet have a proper bus pirate or anything like that, this is what we're going to do. And why not? It's fun, irritates people, what more can I ask for? Now I've got to get my bits and pieces and try and construct this thing. So first thing I need is a microcontroller. I need a Mega48. If nothing else, I need a Mega48. Can you make it any bit of a disco ball? Ooh, we can try disco balls. I can try, yes I can. I'm only 17. Alright. The fun thing's going to be which of these megas is actually... Oh look, I've got a 168. Oh, nice. 88, 168, 88. I could use a 188, there's no reason for me not to. other than the fact that it's a pointless overkill. But then again, these things have been sitting here for God knows how many years, just waiting for the day that finally the light will shine on them again and they can be free. These are the trouble with the V1s, is they're only 10 megahertz, so if I want to push this to 20 megahertz, it's not going to work. 16820, that'll probably be a 20. To be fair, I'm only going to be running on an RC clock internally, so maybe I'll just have to... Oh well, look, I've got a 48, 10. Okay, we'll stick with this for now. We can always replace it and flash it again. Of course, I don't know. I don't know what code this has already got on it, so that's going to be fun. This may not even work. It's been pulled from something, I can see that. And now, what idiot didn't put a pin 1 marker on that board? Idiot. Fortunately, I did print it out, so there we go. Looks like it's going to be up this way. Sad to think I used to do this all without the help of a microscope. And now I can barely do anything without the microscope. Can I pull the code out? I could, but I'm not going to bother. Any code that's on here, I probably... yeah, it's already my own code, so... There's a fly flying around that is starting to really annoy me. And it's going to meet its death very shortly if it's not careful. The only issue is I am worried that I might hurt myself in the process of trying to kill the fly. And you may laugh at that, but it's terribly true. You know, I could end up with a tweezer going through my hand. You can be very judicious with the flux. It's going to need it because it's got that tarnish all over it. Oh right, Mike, yes, you can read the code out assuming that it hasn't been locked. That's the trouble, is a lot of the time commercial ones will already, they'll have the lock bit set. And if the lock bit's set, then yeah, Atmel's actually not too bad in terms of security for these. You can see that the solder's a bit reluctant to get in on those pads. It becomes a case of how much do you want to spend to get around it, and which specific chip have you got, because they did change some security features over the years, but overall in terms of, it's still non-trivial. Alright. Now I just hope this thing does not have its crystal fuses set. Because if it does, then I'm not going to be able to program it. So a bit of the gamble. Okay, I just have to get my programmer. And with this particular one, I'm going to have to use the ultra-fine programmer header, which hopefully I have not lost. Naturally, you're not in there. Come on now, I know you're around here. I know you are around. Aha, found you. Aha, found you. I said it twice because I found the container that I thought had it, and then I found the actual header. So this is that hot glue's got to be a good decade old now. Anyway, so this is a fairly fine pitch, and I just do that. It doesn't even go in properly. I just use pressure on it. It's not the best way of doing these things, but it worked at a pinch. And counterintuitively, that ground pin actually has to touch there. Alright, so we're going to have to actually switch over to coding mode now. Why can I never remember what I call my projects? Simple LA, okay. Uh-huh. I don't know why I said logic analyzer, but it's not an analyzer. It's an Atmel 168. Okay, is it a P, a V, or just 168? Oh, whoops. Cannot find USB tiny device. That would make sense. 20 UPH. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't quite remember on that one. Okay, this is where I need my damn glasses for sure. Good luck, Paul, and hope you don't short anything out. So we're going to be at 6 or 7 attempts before it even gets close to flashing. Connection failed. Really? No, you failed. That worked. Alright, so we know at least it didn't have the crystal flag set. Alright, now we've got to assemble the rest of the damn bits on it, so there's not a lot to it. You're just going to have the usual pull-up for the reset pin, the decoupling, and I've got to find a header for the serial port. So I made the program, so like I've got this, which is, I think it's a 1.25mm pitch header. Wow, broke off lots of things there. And that's just like a Max 232 chip on there. And what you would do is you just plug it into there and it connects up to the PC. But we'll put together the other stuff first. Probably ought to get most of the things I need from my open board data strip box. Things like 10K, 100 nanofarad, that sort of stuff. Now here's the tricky bit. See, because this was actually designed originally, these are all MOSFETs here. There's 4 MOSFETs here, and they basically connect to the ground pin of where the LED string would come in. So you have your common positive rail here, you know, channel 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there you just have an N-channel MOSFET sitting on the bottom, and you would drive the gate, and that would then make the connection through to ground. Away you go. This reminds me, I think so I'm going to have to probably have a couple of 0-ohm resistors here. Wow, these are seriously old pads. Unfortunately, a 1206 resistor just isn't going to kind of reach across. Bit of a shame. Make it dodgy. Oh, come on. I want it to look professionally hackish. I don't want it to look dodgy. Unfortunately, I missed my opportunity to put an LED on this. I guess because of the fact that it was already driving a squillion LEDs. Yeah, I was going to put Scotch Brite on him, or yeah, something similar, but I'm just too lazy for even that. Well, I am lazy, right? I know with most of the kits that we used to get, one of the first things you had to do before you even got started on the project was spend a good few minutes rubbing down the circuit board, because it was always the case that the kit had been sitting there in a pretty bad atmosphere, and most of them didn't have any sort of conformal coat on them or anything. They just, most of them were just copper if you're lucky. Yeah, I've got a fiberglass pen because I'm just not bothering. This'll work. See, it's just a case of you just need a bit of flux and a bit of rub. It's good. This is working. I'm starting to already drive people mad. It's fantastic. Okay, gotta get myself some 8 of those resistors. Everybody's falling for the bait. Wrong box. Night, Jim. Oh, formaldehyde drip. All yours. All yours, Jim. Let's see. Capacitor's a massive overkill. Still, they'll keep things stable. Alright, now we're going to go for the 000s. Yeah, I could probably do something like put 100 ohm resistors there, to be honest. Yeah, just provide that smidge of extra protection against internet trolls, and it's not actually going to affect the reading ability. Yeah, we're not doing any ADC sampling, and yeah, what have I done here? Ah, I was an idiot and I actually, damn it. Yeah, so we could do something like put a 1K, even a 1K resistor, but I'll probably go more like 100 ohms. Just to provide some sort of very limited protection against something stupid to happen. But to be honest, if I'm going to be relying on that, then something really bad's already happened and it's going to die regardless. Okay. Come on, melt your little SOBs. Your lead solder, for goodness sake. Hot glue is on the connectors that I just used to program it. Well, we've got a bunch of 330 ohms, I think. 330 ohm? Yeah, let's use 330 ohm as our input protection resistors. best thing is we've got to put these a bit skew. Because there's supposed to be a transistor there. In the true spirit of dodgy. That's why I find I have a hard time throwing out all my old circuit boards from, you know, when I was doing the manufacturing, because there's so many times where you think, I need a board that can support, you know, a particular chip and that has the connections that'll let me do this or that. And plenty of times, yeah, particularly because when I designed these boards, all the time I was trying to design them in a sufficiently generic way that if I made a mistake with something, I could bodge my way around it until at least the next version came out. Alright, cool. Now I need some 2-pin right angle headers. Actually, I might just use uprights. It's not as cool though. Headers, come on, where are you? Hardware, mounting, MOSFETs, inductors, wires, fuses, shunts, buzzers, connectors, square. No, we need headers. LEDs, nope. I've got a box that has headers in it, and I don't. Well, there's actually one here that says LEDs, but it actually already there is. No, it legitimately was LEDs. Switches, connectors, round, square. Where are my damn headers? Someone's going to get a spanking. Aha, headers. Alright. Not you. You. You're only single row. Should have a whole. Oh, here we go. Find the goldish tinge ones. There we go. And we're only going to need 4. Usually I used to put these in a vise to break them off, but maybe I might still have to do that. I don't really have the right pliers. If you've got some good flat nose pliers, some big electrical ones, they can apply the right sort of strength in the right place to break these off. I'm gonna have to probably end up with one excess on this. Yeah, I am. That's okay. You can just be a dud. There. Usually my preference for breaking off these is slotted pliers. Or just a vise, you know, small vise. stick it in as far as you need in the vise and then snap it off. Now a lot of these pins, particularly the ground ones, are going to be redundant because we actually only need one ground pin going to the board. Oh wow, that bobble actually... Yeah, we only need the one ground pin going to the board as our reference. And that's not a very good join, that's a bit of a Hershey kiss. That's because it actually is trying to heat up that entire board. And I'm just loading up the solder a little bit too much onto the pins. Oh, you should learn how to solder properly. It's like, I know how to solder properly, I just don't care right now if it's not perfect. You're not setting a good example for the community. Alright, now the trick here is going to be, do I have any of these 1.25mm headers? And I have a horrible feeling I do not, which is going to suck eggs. Because I remember I was always running out of them. My USB connectors. Look, very worst case scenario, I'm just going to wire it directly up. Oh wait, yes, yes, yes! Looks like I bought myself a few. Oh, please be the right ones, please be the right ones. You are the right ones. Oh, I love myself so much. Thank you, myself 10 years ago. That sweet, sweet self-love. Hopefully the orientation is correct. Six girls, you're going to get yourself kicked out of the channel if you keep that up. How dare you say that name. Filthy people thinking this is Arduino. That's like the people thinking that... Well, I don't want to say it because it gives credence, but people saying, Lord of the Rings stole from Harry Potter. And it's like, really? Personally, you know, probably more of a fan of Harry Potter. Oh, I need some assistive heat there. That's not enough flux and not enough heat. And you see, the trouble I have with those pads, the mistake I made there, is I did not put a thermal relief there. So this ground pad, it's the only reason there's a pad there is because the conformal coat, you know, it's cut away there or it was never put down, as opposed to a thermal relief which looks like this, where you see you got these sections taken away from the copper and they're just connected by, in this case, you know, the 3 connections to the copper. That there is how you can get it so that you can still solder the pin but be connected to the ground without requiring excessive heat. But when you don't have the thermal relief pins, design, then you get these situations. I don't want to melt the damn thing. There we go. Alright. And what do we got here? Oh, I know what this was for. This here was a signal pin. Because this was connected on a model aircraft and they used the 50 millisecond time frame And what would happen is that pulse signal would come into here and it'd, you know, just be divided or filtered before going into the AVR, and you would just look for the pulse to be beyond a certain width or below a certain width, and then you would turn on or off the lights accordingly. Alright. Looking sufficiently shonky so far. I don't know, Six Girls. I don't know. Many a thing is said in jest. That's true. I think you're looking for trouble. I say we get the mob out and burn you at the stake. This board has gotten altogether too sticky now, so it needs to be washed. Ah, yeah, blasphemer. Must be stoned. For saying the Arduino name. Just don't stone me, just because I said it. Doggy dog. It's a start. Now we're going to get power to it somehow. Basil, if you guys stop hoard buying it, then it wouldn't probably have a problem. It's as bad as the toilet paper crisis of 2019, or was it 2020? Where everybody just goes out buying toilet paper because everybody else has gone out buying toilet paper. You guys just did the same with your petrol, you bunch of num-nums. Hey, Steve K. Alright, so there's our, hopefully, little tiny logic probe. Now, the other problem I've got to worry about is what's going on here. So this plugs into there. I really can't imagine I'm going to get more than about 200 kbit per second out of this interface. It's just too exposed. There's no noise control whatsoever. Okay, so what have I got here? Data. Alright, I know what I've got to do here. I'm not really sure why No, I haven't reversed this. Okay, I'm gonna trim this cable and clean it up and then hot glue it. Yeah, so look at that, the cable just broke apart there. Right, it does look like I still have to split it though, that's unfortunate. Hey Gibbo. I'm gonna need a little more solder on that. I like to have nice fluffy solder pads for this sort of work, so that you can just heat up the pad and drop the wire onto it and let the pad basically eat up the wire like that. So you don't have a lot of time spent overheating the insulation. Wow, this thing is just full of crud from the last decade sitting around somewhere. I don't know where it's been, but it's pretty dirty. Definitely going to have to put some hot glue on that. Alright, hot glue stick, where art thou? Come on. Oh, hot glue. There you are. Rightio. Faint horror moment then, thinking that I was about to die. Gonna need something a bit better at cutting that hot glue there. Okay. That's a pretty decent blob. Should do what we want. Still hasn't actually sealed up yet. There's still some air bubbles in there. It's getting close. Oh, it is. It's getting close to Chinesium. Oh look, I've left specks of stuff in there, and I've got a bug wing or something like that in there. It's hot glue for a start. I think it is respectful of dodgy quality standards. Now the only thing I will do is actually bring this up, lather it over like a good dollop of honey. And of course, as usual, hot glue goes like a complete bastard of a thing. Now it's perfect, now it's genuine Chinesium. I'm only using 140 Celsius on the air, so it's just borderline hot glue temperature for this particular sort of stick that I have. Yeah, that'll do. Alright. Just stick it into the cooler. Hey, g'day. How's it going, Harold? Good night, Jason. Sleep tight and hope you get through your queue a bit better tomorrow. I'm just cooling off the hot glue at the moment. Need an inspection sticker, QC sticker, yeah, QC version 2.0 or something like that. That will suffice. Let's see. Alright, now at this point I need to do something about the power. I suppose a good old wholesome JST connector should do the trick. Let's see, wires. I've got a box that should have the word wires on it. I do. I've actually got two boxes of wires. One of them will be the wires I want, the other one will be wires. And then I've got a third box under another workbench that's also wires, but it's not marked wires, it's just marked box. Okay, no JSTs in there. Yep. Zaro things that Paul was making. That would be a load tester. Ooh. Oh, this is excellent. We can use this for our logic probe thingy. See? Except I should have ripped off 5 because I need a ground one. God damn it! Oh. Okay. That, and then we'll take this 5 off this. I think. A better option is split it down the middle. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's that. And at 10, oh yeah, I do have my JSTs here. But that is actually the opposing side. Actually, I need the other side for the JST. Which means they will be in the unmarked box. Hello, unmarked box, which is probably marked. At least I hope they're in here. Yep, no, damn it. You're more of the same almost. Ah, here we go. Yep, that'll do it. Funnily enough, JST is one of those bizarro standards where you're really not sure which one. Well, I suppose you are. Sure, in terms of which is male and female, they're kind of like dual gender. So in this case, this technically is a male, and this would be the female. But when you look in the female, it's got 2 probie points, so you kind of think it's the male, because it's in terms of the actual electrical connection, because it's got the pins and this has got the receptacles. So nice and confusing. Anyway. So we'll stick this on the device to be powered, and this goes to the power supply. And these, let's see, I've got that one ground one somewhere. There's not that one. Yeah. Mike, I don't think there'd be many patients alive if I was a surgeon, I'm sorry to say. Yeah, okay, that bottom pin there is the ground pin. I appreciate the vote of confidence. And did I put too many pins here? No, we got just the right amount. There we go. So we've got our ground and then the 4 sense lines. This dirty copper. Now, memories come back, PTSD as it were. I would buy looms of these connected, cables already made up, and like I'd buy, 10,000 at a time or something. And every now and then they would change the copper in them, and sometimes you would get this dirty copper. I'm surprised though, this is actually working. You'd get this dirty copper that would not take solder very well. Sorry. Because I would have a vat of a solder pot, and so you'd get a cluster of all these wires, and you'd order them with a 3mm stripped end or something like that. So you grab a cluster of these wires, you dip them into your flux, and then you dip them into the pot, and they should all tin. But yeah, there's a few batches I would get, and they just absolutely refuse to take solder very well, to the point where you'd end up sometimes being really naughty. You would almost use plumber's flux just to get it to bite. And you would probably, I would occasionally manufacture, use those cables, but I can tell you now, before I actually sent them out, I would go along and replace them all, because I couldn't handle knowing that I had used acid flux on the job. Because even though it was working fine now, I know that in the future it would eat through. So yeah, I'd just get so frustrated because the workshop would be boiling hot in summer. So, and if you're dealing with all this, vatted molten solder, you just want to get out of there. And so you're like, that's it, I'm using plumber's flux. But yeah, no matter how much you wash that stuff, it eats through. It survives and it eats through. Alright, well, effectively now we have our fundamental thingamajig. Okay, Barry, take care. Now, my next question is, how am I going to connect this up? I should have a high-speed serial cable somewhere. I would have liked to have tried to do this directly through serial USB, but no, I'm not that smart. Okay, no. Alright, you're going to have to give me a couple of minutes as I try to go and find my genuine FT232 cable, as I desperately try to recall where it would be. And then once we've got that cable, we can actually try and capture the data that this is if it's going to generate any data at all. Come to think of it, I don't even know what baud rate this is going to be. So yeah, what I should have done initially, when you do serial projects, what you should do initially is make it generate the letter U. I think it is. Yeah, generate the letter U, and that will produce a square wave. It just works out that all the bits are in such a way that it comes out as a square wave, and so that lets you know that you've at least got your baud rate correctly. Yeah, alright, look, I'm going to go hunt for this cable, so sit tight, enjoy the elevator music while I'm absent. Why do I have to move stuff around, honestly? You again?
I fell asleep.
Oh. Alright, I can't believe it. I actually found it within a reasonable amount of time, and that's considering that I had to feed the wildling cats too. I just realised, I don't need to use this. I can plug straight into the back of my PC here if I can find a serial cable. I don't have a serial cable, so I don't have a serial cable that I know is going to work. So I'm better off just using, this thing here. The only trouble is I don't remember what the maximum speed of this is, but I guess we're going to find out. And do you have the right... Oh, thank goodness, it's got at least the right polarity. Okay. So unfortunately it's going to have to plug into USB 3, which is counter to my belief, but oh well. What have I got? Someone trying to tell me here that I should be using something else? Oh, please, 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 please. I'm going to catch some flies with this tonight. I'm pretty sure these FT232RLs can do a lot faster than just 11500. Okay, so this is a genuine one too. "12 megabits, 3 megabit." Okay, yeah, these can do 3 megabit per second, so we're good. X on, X off. This is not the Karate Kid, the digital Karate Kid. We do not do X on, X off. We just pour the data down the line and hope that it will keep eating it. Daniel-san, yeah. Alright, now I've got to power the damn thing. 5 volts. Cut that. Oh, Tim, yeah, the thing is, I gotta order one of those. I've already got this sort of stuff. And if I'm going to get myself a logic analyzer, I'm going to get myself a capture thing. This is just a case of something entertaining to do. It's fun. It's kind of like someone painting. It's like you can buy that painting, or you can just buy a picture, take a picture. So yeah, but it's also fun to do this sort of stuff. Keeps the old brain programming up to date too. Yeah, I'll probably just buy myself a, what do you call it, a dedicated capture tool. Jeez, did I just kill the whole thing just then? Oh no, it's not connected, thank God for that. Okay, 4 volts, we want to go up to 5. We shouldn't be using anything more than 100 milliamp. We're using 9 milliamp. It's a massively wasteful device, it seems. Okay, overhead. Okay, I think I need to clear my desk a little bit because I'm about to embark on programming. I might be able to write some code that it can actually be directly imported into SIGROC or SIGROC or whatever the hell it is. But oh my god, I've got so much crap here. Out of the way, glue stick. Okay, we're going to go in a quad display, even though it's probably a bit squishy. Actually, you know what? You don't need to see me doing any of this. We've got nothing connected, so for the most part, those values should be sitting at 0. There may be a few glitches that push it up, so most of our data should just be zeros. Okay, let's go back to the programming. Do I have Minicom on this? Yes, I do. No, I don't. Hey, Just Clev. Okay, USB TT. Okay, Minicom. They've changed things now. Serial port set up. Oh, I need to go so much higher than that. Oh well, let's see what's going on here anyway. Hardware flow control, definitely not. Serial device is device. USB. Wait, what? TTY USB 1. That's nice. I might have to program this. I'll tell you what I should do is I actually should flash the unit to initially be doing just a character I know at a frequency I know, so that I can then get my bearings and go, okay, well, this is it's working now how we expect, and then from there activate the data side of it. Alright, so we'll kind of control AQ. Rather than jumping in and hoping for the best. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's not actually going to be legit. That should be 1 megahertz initially. And yeah, you're not seeing things. This is the entire program. It's barely 40 lines long. Okay. I'm just getting the data sheet to get some, I need the UBRR values for what I want to do here for the testing phase of it. they kind of have a cheat table that you can use. Here it is. Now we're initially going to be running at 1 megahertz. So, and if we do, okay, we can't even go that high. Alright. So actually 57.6 is not going to work. Okay, I need to run at 8 in that case. Oh, there's 8. 8. And we're using a 2-by multiplier. Okay, so UBRR should be 8, and we'll do a 115-200. Okay. Damn, I got flux on my forearm. Instead of setting the fuses, there is a function I can use just to do it. GCC set CPU speed. What is your problem? Okay, I think it's this. Unfortunately, it's been a long time since I've done a lot of this, so I've kind of forgotten some of the bits and pieces. I know I've got it in my other code, but maybe what I should really be looking for is just seeing what I flash. Oh, there we go. Funnily enough, this is for the same piece of, this is the actual original source code that was meant for the board that we're actually using, the programmable strobe device. So yeah, I'm setting the prescaler set clock div 1, so I was on the mark of where I wanted to be. So that actually would have worked. What? First user... What? Clearly I've forgotten to include a header of some sort. Shouldn't be this one. Shouldn't be that one. Might be AVR power actually. Yeah, I'd say it was power. Implicit declaration of function, clock free scaler. Or maybe they have changed it. Clock prescale set. Oh, that's because I can't spell. No, that's more like it. Alright, so we're going to go 8 megahertz. What else do I have to do? I think we're good. I got to just program the unit, which means having a good old guess as to where my pins are, and hopefully I don't do a fire truck event. God damn, it's a lot harder these days. Yeah, so hard. What doesn't help is that the holes are too small on this. Got it. Okay, serial port connected. Okay, that should be now pumping. Why don't I have a LED? I need a LED so I can see what's going on. $11 milliamps, so it is doing something. I'm just double checking my figures again. So F oscillator is 8 megahertz, set to 8. Actually the error percentage is a bit high, 3.5%, so it's kind of pushing it outside the limits, but I should still be getting some sort of chatter. Okay, 9600. Okay, we're going to change it back to 9600. $103. stick probes on there and see if you're getting current. Well, I can already see that I'm getting current. Seems I gotta flash it again. Flashing this thing is the hardest thing of the whole process. It wouldn't be so much a problem if I could leave it permanently connected, but I can't really do that with this project. Okay. So this should now be 9600. I'll probably find out that it was actually all just simply because I didn't have permission. Yeah, it's definitely fine there. Oh, whoops. That was the multimedia. What's the bet I've actually got receive and transmit reversed? I have a feeling I've probably got them reversed. Alrighty, let's try something. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm pretty sure I would have worked that bug out in early prototype stages. There's going to be people saying, see, this is why you should be doing it the way we said. And it's like, yeah, that's not... I'm not going to have someone be able to deliver to me this device that's going to do this job in the next 2 hours. No, it is coming up okay on the USB side, so I can't blame that, unfortunately. Yeah, is grounding matter? Okay. I will be the ground. Oh, it looks like it looks like I am going to need ground. Damn it, Paul! Why'd you have to need ground for? That is not a very well coupled signal. What? Looks like it's AC coupled. Okay, well in this case the first thing you do is you plug your probe into the 5 kilohertz output or whatever it is, or 1 kilohertz output of the meter. And you can't see it anyway, but alright. Okay. So I've got a pretty damn ugly looking square wave, but it is squarish wave-ish. And that's all that matters in this case. It's ish. It okay. Nothing going there. We have got no activity. What have I forgotten? Nope, there's some crazy stuff going on there and it doesn't seem right to me. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect the serial port. Just in case, maybe there's a problem with that, maybe it's shorting something down. Back to 9 milliamp. Okay, that's interesting. That's actually... Alright. It's like the AVR is not producing any output. So what I'm going to do is go back to here and double check that. So normally you shouldn't have to set up, let's see, timer, serial port set. Did I enable the... Oh no, yeah, no, I enabled the transmitter. There shouldn't be any reason for me to enable the receiver in this particular case. This is a bit pointless, but that should still end up as 0, so... this could have been messing with it. Although I don't think it was a requirement anymore. FCPU. Steve, what connectors you talking about? I mean, they're loose, but the pins go a very long way. And that's actually the plastic sleeve sliding. And all of this basically has no real influence on what's going on here. Time to look at the schematic. I want to pull up the board view, but there isn't a board view. Let's see. Receive pin is pin 30 and transmit is 31. Transmit is closer to ground. So this one here is the ground. That's relative to the AVR. So the AVR thinks that's the transmit pin. I have no idea what's even supposed to be there. I mean, the AVR must be working because it is, you know, being flashed and everything. Okay, I'll just check my adapter here. Okay, that's interesting. The red on this, yeah, okay, I think I know what's happening. Whoops. The red on this is actually ground. It plugs into the ground and we have it going. Oh, damn it, man. It's on my hot glue section too. Oh, that's such a sad way to go. Yeah, so that's backwards. I did such a good job on that hot glue. No. Oh, this is a 202. Oh, wow, I forgot about those. I got these for like 1/10 the price of the Max 232s. Alright, so the problem was actually the bridge. And that's probably killed my output now. Damn it. It's all Soren's fault. If I hadn't have used the devil's glue or devil juice, then I would have been easily been able to fix that, but no, I had to foolishly jump the gun. Now that's going to be a real it's going to be a real pain to fix. Crikey. Well, the other way I can fix it is actually flip these all around, which is not very pleasant because you can't just rotate the whole thing. You have to actually weave them over each other. Damn it. Soren's fault. Oh, Stray's here. Hey, Stray. Yeah, I don't know if alcohol's going to get this stuff off. I might just have to carve the bastard of a thing off. Mother frickin' hell, that went through my finger. Well, like so many things, celebrated too early, and I shouldn't have glued up that connector. Such beautiful connections too. Personally, I don't feel like I've driven enough people mad. I mean, I was kind of hoping for, yeah, when Lewis does a stream where he's messing around with his Bafang bike, that truly just sends people bonkers insane. I guess I just need to work at it. Oh yeah, it's always your fault, yeah. Unquestionably. Yes, I did tempt the soldering guards, Greg. Quite right you were. Good looks go to hell. Well, it was a good thing I didn't plug it straight into the PC. That would have been legitimately problematic. Alright, we'll probably see now that the current drops to about 1 or 2 milliamps, I hope. No, it actually gets worse. 16 milliamps. So much for that. Alright. Schematics. Yeah, wishful thinking, me having data come out through there. Still nothing, no? Oh, come on! Don't tell me I've ruined the port. I should reflash it because remember there was that slight variation in the coding. Even though I don't believe it truly is at fault. Thank goodness it's a very short program. Yeah, it just takes me a second or two to flash it. No, still nothing. I said now the question is, did I ruin the bridge chip? I don't even know if I've got any of those left. Hey Warren. Harold, I wouldn't call myself an expert by any means. Okay, so we're looking for max 232s or max 202s. Let's see. It'd be easier if I actually just look at the size of the chip. No. And it's certainly not pin through crap. Why have I even got pin through crap in my boxes? Where's my self-respect? Oh, look at it. Yeah, I should just throw these out and burn them. Some of those are about 25 years old now. What's in here? No. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I think this is them. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Careful not to have an avalanche. Okay, let's just put those there. Of course, you can be pretty much guaranteed that now that I've found those, it's not going to be actually those at fault. Now, this can't actually be that old because the sticker is marked element 14, and a lot of what I was doing was when they were still Farnell, were still labeling themselves as Farnell rather, at least in terms of the general consumer. So I must have bought these for some other reason. I don't think they actually were for the programmable strobes. Yeah, to do. Well, we should be able to just, yeah, hot air that off. I didn't bother marking it, I just threw it in the bin. Great, now the devil's snot is actually making this stick to the workbench. I think I'm being a little bit of an idiot here. I probably should just wick off that solder and solder it normally. You scum, come on. Stop moving around, you little... Oh. Honestly, this is why I do like things like MacBook boards, they're heavy enough not to move around like this. Or because I'm too lazy to put it in a vise. The caps I think should be fine. They're 25 volt rated and they're isolated. Yeah, they're not directly driven. They're just flyback caps. Or doubler caps, whatever you want to call them. It doesn't help that this is an angle. Yeah, that's a pretty bad soldering job there. Okie dokie. I'm actually genuinely impressed I have those in stock. Ooh, now what I'm curious about is what if this is actually meant to be reversed on this end? Oh, the agony. The agony of trying to remember what I did with this board. Like I said, I'm fairly sure I should have had it as a straight through. But then again, saying I'm fairly sure doesn't mean squat. Yeah, if it doesn't work, swap the RX-TX, exactly. That's the standard empirical testing method. Still nada. Yes, nada. 15 milliamps. Unfortunately, I don't have this. I don't have the schematical board view on hand for the little converter. I don't know when I did those boards. Sometime in the long distant past. Let's do a swapsy swap of the RX and TX pins on this thing. Like I said, I'd be very surprised if that is the case, but quite frankly, you just can't tell these days. This is very much plug and pray, yes. Oh, for the sake of all that is holy and good to me, get off there. Thank you. So I'm 99% sure that they are correct. But that 1% is all you need sometimes. Oh, that is so shonky. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Move it. Yeah, these wires are getting more, progressively more factory quality. Yep. Throw some lead-free solder on there and I'll be laughing. No, got no data spewing out. Crikey. Oh, we got something. It's like it's stuck permanently on high. Sorry, I know you can't see, but that's not my problem. What's my divisions? 2 volts a division. So it's not even clocking. Both outputs are on high. Man, to think this used to work just beautiful. I suppose that's actually what I could do, is flash it with the old code that I know worked, which would give me a terminal interface. Yeah, right now it's just constantly high. It's not running at all, it seems. Yeah, so output's just constant high. Which is a little weird. Even, let's see, receive pin is okay, 0. That is just weird. It should not be like this. Okay, like I said, maybe I'll flash it with the original code, and then that I know should work. I just have to copy this project. No, the bin chip is now virtually binned. There's no coming back for that bin chip. I'm not going down looking for that thing. Ugh, me, come on, man. Oh. Okay, it's fine. Fine, be like that. Fine, fine, fine. Sorry, just... What program is it? Oh, it's trying to use the AVR ISP2, which of course I do not have anymore. Yeah, okay. Programmer is USB tiny. Jeez. You can tell I decided to use these 1mm pitch headers back when I could actually see. Oh no. It's programming in a default pattern. I think I was about 9 years old, 9 or 10, when I started programming, and it was just, I found myself naturally drawn to computers for some reason. Z80s were just coming onto the market. The Commodore 64, I think, the VIC-20 was out at the time, yeah. Content mismatch, no one gives a crap. Okay. Let's swap these pins back before I connect it. And then I've got to remember what speed. Sorry, I just want to check what speed I'm meant to be running at with the terminal. I am doing 96. Okay, cool. 96. Cool. Cool. So sad that we had to destroy that beautiful creation we had initially. I mean, look at it now. It's just, this is my resume to work overseas. Oh, for God's sake, trying to do this one-handed is like trying to do most things anyway. Stay away from that pole. Goddamn wire. I will destroy you. Okay, 15 milliamps, so it's about up the right area. What? Oh, that's workstation. Whoops. It works. That works. That is my little terminal program that I wrote for my Programmable Strobe. Look, it's even got my old domain on it. Ah. Let's see what the channel data is. Oh, that is so cool. Happy memories knowing that I used to do that. Okay, so at least we know that the hardware works. Now we know it's all coming down to the firmware. It's a relief to see that, to be honest. Okay, so I'm missing something fundamental here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare the two code. Like this here is the known working code, and this here is our not so working code. Yeah, Mike Sims, that's what, that 3 times now I've made myself impressed. Alright, 51. The only difference I've got here is that I'm using the multiplier, double multiplier. But that really shouldn't make a difference. Like this here, this. I will turn on the receiver side of it, though I can't see why that would change anything. Thank goodness I didn't have to write this stuff in assembly, because that actually would be quite a bit more traumatic. Okay. So we've got our prescaler. We don't have to... The port C that we're reading from doesn't even matter in this particular case, because we're just trying to put out the letter U. What's this? Set number, relative number. What does that do? I mean, there's a million Vim things that I don't use, and there's some that I do use. Let's see, the clock shouldn't matter because we don't use that in this case. Okay, so the reason why we're using 51 here, but 103 here, is because we've got the double frequency. Okay, so SROA. I don't mind doing assembly with the AT Tiny 10s. I think it's quite cute and fun. But beyond that, I will use snippets of assembly in amongst the C for areas that I specifically do need to use assembly for some hack job that I'm doing. But other than that, no. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to drop the 2 by multiplier. It's not going to matter in this case, so... And again, that top line really should not come into play. Change the way the line numbers are represented, better for multiple HJKL. I think you've got a different style of programming to me. You'll probably find that it's too much, particularly after, you know, it's well over 30 years now I've been doing Vim, so... Yeah. And there's always things you learn in Vim. You're like, whoa, I did not know it could do that. Okay, I'll set the interrupts. It's almost like this service routine is not being invoked. Maybe I've misinterpreted what this interrupt routine is doing for me. called when the data register accepts new data. When this occurs, we can write new data through the use. Right. Oh. I wonder if... But this shouldn't matter for transmitting. Again, the trouble is I'm only transmitting, but... Let's see... RxCI... Internet enable... Hey, Kevaz. Damn it, I've misplaced my... Ah, no, it's okay. I was looking for my data sheet. And just want to check on the function of this RxCIE. I think it's TXCIEO that I want. That's what I think is missing. Because the code that is working on there now, that is not interrupt driven, but this code is interrupt driven. Let's see. Yeah, without that TXCIE, basically what it's got on the data sheet here is writing this bit to 1 enables the interrupt on the TXCN flag. A USART transmit complete interrupt will be generated only if the bit is set to 1. Yeah, I think that might have been the problem. I guess we'll have a shot and see. So I'll flash it with the new firmware, and if all goes well, we should be greeted with a cluster of in theory. And I better get into the right path. Every time I connect this damn 1 mil thing, it curses my youth. Honestly. I mean, to be fair, I think in this particular case the circuit board actually has been drilled too small. Damn it, man. And I don't think it's pseudo at fault here. No, it's not. It's 100% me. Get out there and give 110%. See what I mean? The holes are just a bit small. Okay, well, that flashed straight away, so that's good. Still nothing though. Maybe I have to pre-salt the buffer. Aha! That's what it was. I had to pre-salt the buffer. Oh, what a stupid, stupid little thing. And there it goes. Alright. So we've got that bit working now. So we just pre-salt it with, yeah, just that. That's kind of weird. Anyway. Okay, we can get rid of that now that we've solved that problem. Now we can, well actually now I can just, now it's going to turn to gibberish though. Oops. Yeah, we're going to get, we're either going to get 0 data, like 0 byte data coming through, or we're going to, okay, that's good. Unfortunately at this point we're only doing 9600. So that's a pretty useless data rate. Alright, you can see it's doing something funky there. Funky town. Interesting data pattern though. There you go. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what that is. Yeah, there's no noise distortion, there's nothing. Alright, so well, let me just quickly look at the let's see, according to this data sheet, I'm using PCO through to PC3, so I really should AND the top 4 bits out, mask them out. So this should actually be AND OX OF. That took me a little bit too long to think. What I might do is actually make this I'm going to make it 2 no, OF, and then I'm going to add the reason being of actually make it 2O is it brings the data up into sort of like the ASCII character range. Downside is that's going to cost a couple of extra cycles, but we'll see. But it means then I can do a hex dump, not a hex dump, I can just do a dump straight to the terminal, and it's not going to be any sort of control characters or any gibberish like that. Ah, come on, man. How did I do this in the past? Really? Clearly I was deranged. Yeah, microfix. Alright, so we've still got this repeating pattern going on here, and I'm not sure why that is. So we've got 2C2C2C2. There is a little bit of noise picking up in there. It could be because of the floating pins, but I'm not sure why it's doing. It's like it's repeating it 8 times. That doesn't make a lot of sense. I think I need to finish up for tonight. At least we know we've got the comms working, but I'm gonna have to dig in. I've never before used the interrupt based for transmission, so I probably am doing something wrong here. Yeah, I'm gonna guess I'm doing something wrong on the transmit side. Ah well, anyway. Well, we had some fun and I've wrecked my room now. And I've got couriers to pick up stuff in 10 hours and I need to get some sleep, so that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to put that A1707 back together and probably not get as much data out of it as I wanted, but at least I got the CPU values out of it, yeah, the resistance values for the coils. So I mean, yeah, this is a long protracted process, and absolutely in terms of the hours spent, if I converted that to my normal charge rate, I could have bought myself many bus pirates from Spunfark. I mean Spark Fun, or anywhere else for that matter. But you know, sometimes it's just fun to stuff around and see what you can have fun with. Yeah, we'll see. We'll attack it tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for sticking around. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, you take care. I'll see you later.